No, we're going. Yeah, this is like hanging out. We're gonna listen now. Yeah. 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 Go ahead. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. Um, yeah. So the plan is let's inform if anybody ever, because hopefully these things are recorded, are stored forever. So our plan is we're going to trade off some famous, or well, some famous, some maybe not so famous, but all in all, comedians and some of our favorite bits. So we'll for sure do a few. In the beer world, it's any type of ale beer or a Guinness. Or yeah, I have many. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, from mine, that's for sure. And then I mean, you literally just sent me yours, and yeah, it's from what I'm gauging, you kind of went with kind of not super big names. Some people that follow comedy will know them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to start the show out with I'm literally holding it in my hand, Nate. The one that I first. I'm not saying it's the first comedy CD, although maybe it actually is. But it's had a huge impact on my comedy thinking, and it's Jerry Seinfeld. It's called I'm Telling You for the Last Time. one of the very unique things about this is in today's modern age, you cannot listen to this on Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's just to me it's unique. Like I'm a listener of music and comedy, and almost literally every single musician, comedian is on Spotify. But this is one of the few things that's like gold. The other unique thing about Seinfeld is how big he is with comedy. He really only has one comedy album. This thing is embedded in my head, Nate. And like this is 20 years ago that I literally
Special, Joe.
yeah, I literally can remember this next bit that I'm going to play you, being in high school, not knowing what to talk to my friends about, and literally just saying this bit that I'm going to play for us. It's about milk.
Okay.
So, and hopefully you can hear it, Nate. So let me crank this up.
Darth Vader came back, but it was hidden Christmas.
That's not it. Hold on. Here we go.
Well, what should we do? Because you want to be sure. There's nothing worse than thinking you have milk and not having it. You know, you got the bowl set up, the cereal, the spoon, the napkin, the TV, the newspaper, everything's ready to go. You gotta lift up the carton and it's too light. Ah! Oh no! Too light. Or sometimes you think you need milk. Hey, we better pick up some milk. Like many of you are thinking right now. You know, he's right. Maybe we should pick up some milk. So you'll pick up some milk on the way home. And then you'll discover you already have milk. And now you got way too much milk. That's no good either. Now it's a race against the clock with the expiration date. That freaky thing. Now you're eating giant punch bowls of cereal 3 meals a day. You're washing your face with milk. Bringing cats in from all over the neighborhood. Hurry up and drink it! Come on, it's almost time! How do they know that that is the definite exact day? You know, they don't say like it's in the vicinity, give or take, roughly. They brand it right into the side of the cart and then they... That's your goddamn day right there. Oh, don't screw with us. We know what day is the final day. And then it is so over. You ever have milk the day after the day? Scares the hell out of you, doesn't it? The spoon is trembling as it comes out of the bowl. It's after the day. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I don't know why I'm doing this. I smelled it. You smell it. What is it supposed to smell like? I never smelled milk. Maybe the cows tip them off when they're milking them. July 3rd. So we go to that checkout line. I really appreciate the rubber device.
Okay. And first, most importantly, could you hear it, Nate?
Yeah, I can hear it barely, but I can hear it.
Oh, barely. That's not good.
No, I heard it though.
Yeah.
But maybe, there's like, okay, so I'm saying is that here's a great diagnostic. I think there's a margin that we can hear it a little bit better, but it was not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, I mean...
Maybe, like, crank up the volume?
It is, Nate. Like, for me, it's... Yeah, I can probably go a little bit
louder. And then you have
louder.
your phone up right next to the cool speaker.
Yeah.
And then do you have a different choice of a speaker?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a shitty speaker?
No, it's a Bose speaker. It's a good speaker.
Oh, okay. The Bose thing. Shut the fuck up. All right, let's go with it. Hey, man, let's go with it. Hey, guess what, man? This is the garage, okay? That's what's cool, too, is we fucking started the shit in the garage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't start the penthouse. We start the fucking shit in the garage.
Yeah. Well, to know if you heard it at all, what was the bit about?
Okay, so one thing I really like is that it's so simple, and it goes into what I call the observational category of comedy. So it's a simple thing about the expiration date, and we're just talking about milk and taking away a very simple activity, or taking away from a very simple activity like a breakfast. And he's so right, because you're like, oh shit, the date on the bottom
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in my house, I've witnessed just full gallons of milk just being tossed. Because then you drink a lot of milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
I liked it for that simple approach.
Yeah. The favorite part that I wanted to relay this week was when he's like, "How does the cow know that that's the exact day? Maybe the cow tips him off July 3rd." And I actually thought about like the comedy of it today. Like, obviously Jerry knows it's kind of like automation. Like, every farmer milks a day and then says, X amount of days, and it's always the same process. So Jerry kind of has to like dumb you down, like, yeah, how do they know? Like, yeah, obviously they just, but he turned it into comedy gold, as he calls good bits. And it's also, Jerry has a very, he like salesman like delivery. Like his delivery is amazing. Like, yeah, he knows the way to say it to make it even better than maybe it
I
is.
agree. His delivery is really good.
Mm-hmm. So, Nate's up next here.
All right, I want to say one more thing about Jerry Seinfeld. You should read it, and I'll try to find it again. But a lot of people are opining about the Dave Chappelle cancel show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so good because like one person collected like 8 comedians' response, including who's that orange hair comic?
I'm not sure. Say again, what is she? Or he?
He's red hair. He's one of your favorites.
Louis C.K. Louis C.K.
No, he's the other redhead, the other guy. He had an episode of Star Wars. He goes on rants, but they're hilarious.
Oh, Bill Burr? Bill Burr?
Yeah, Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Bill Burr has a really good commentary about like he was really cool about Seinfeld because he fucking spoke up. It's good that you get offended. And then he said this in a couple different interviews, and it's very to the point and very clear, so it's exactly what he means. He goes, my life is simple. It's either you're funny or you're not. You're not funny, I'm not interested. Political correctness, that's not funny. I'm not interested. So he really has a binary view, and he only uses his time to focus on what comes to be funny to him. But if it's not fucking funny at all, he will not put any energy or put any attention to it, including all of this like PC, gender neutral, all of that. Like he doesn't care. He doesn't want to talk about it. He just puts zero energy. He has no notice of it. I thought that was badass. Like, and he says that point. I'm only into funny or not funny, and I like funny.
Right.
So what I think he's done really great, Seinfeld, and it exemplifies it, extraordinary success. I'm talking like extraordinary, and I'm going to break that word down in a moment, but because he philosophically gets it down to the atom. That's what's pretty impressive about Seinfeld. And taking that milk joke, that's what he did. He just talked about milk for almost 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you know?
Right.
You were interested the entire time. You were interested in the entire time. There was nothing boring about milk because he pulled it all the way to its atom.
Yeah.
Very, very skilled. That's a very high skill.
Yeah.
And why he got excessively rewarded. And I think I mentioned this before, but did I tell you how excessively successful he is?
How what successful he is?
Like excessively. Like he is excessively successful. I think I might have said this in the first podcast, second podcast.
Sure. Well, I remember you said about how he's very picky about who he, is friends with. Yeah, but yeah, obviously he's successful. Yeah.
No, but like the successful is a stretch of the imagination. So here's my joke. I don't think Dave Chappelle is half successful as Jerry Seinfeld. In my opinion, and I bet you I could prove it. And we're talking like what would be successful, like how much money they've made. I'm gonna put down that Jerry Seinfeld has crushed every other comedian. So you'd be like, oh, the second net worth of the second comedian ever.
Yeah.
So basically, he stopped becoming a billionaire just because he was like, what's the purpose of, putting a little bit up to get another $300 million?
Mm-hmm.
Because he could do it. It's so easy. Like, he's like, I'm okay with family. I'm okay with just money or not. And why I think that extreme of his, excessive net worth comes from his ability to pull off simple things down to their atom.
Yeah. Yeah, he put out a good listen where he explains his comedy, and he explains he might even talk about the milk bit, about how he can just observe something and kind of like you said, just break it down, and something somebody would think like, oh, like you maybe can get a couple minutes out of, he can get like 5 minutes or more out of something simple, because he dissects it. He explains, like, he can really break something simple down, and make people, like, he wonders about it, and then yeah. Anyway, that's a favorite bit of mine. And also that milk bit, if you do buy the CD, it's actually, the bit is actually called Supermarket. So the milk thing is just a part of the bit. The whole bit is 9 minutes, and it's about him going to the supermarket, obviously, and other stuff.
That's
So
badass.
yeah. All right, our next.
And then it's great job. I want to say great job to Society Phil to pioneer the comedians tonight. That was a good choice.
Yeah, good kickoff. All right, Nate's first pick here is Kevin Smith. We got some Kevin Smith coming up here. Let me do this right for us, Nate. So I want everybody to be able to hear.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Joe, you're doing a great job. You are doing a great job. Thank you, sir.
The rest of the story, and
I want to make
at
the
first you're
public,
gonna be all judgy,
this
and
would
then
not
I'm gonna tell
happen
you something.
without Joe Flo. That is a fact.
Cool, man. All right, here we go, Kevin Smith, and I think I can hear you, Nate. So if you want me to stop it at any point, stop it. It's a 3-minute bit.
Play the whole bit.
Okay, here we go.
At first you're gonna be all judgy, and then I'm gonna tell you something, and you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. I have a 103-inch television in my bedroom. That's not the judgy part. Here it comes. Cost $60,000 fucking bucks. Crazy, right? I didn't fucking buy it. I would never pay 60. Now you can't be judgy. I didn't buy it. It was given to me, man. I would never pay $60,000 for a TV. I wouldn't pay $60,000 for anything unless you could live in it, drive it, or it fucking blew you until the day you died. Like that's. I got a line and shit like that. No, it was given to us at one point. I'd done commercials years ago for Panasonic. And there was a guy named Ed Janda who was like the exec at Panasonic, who was on set all the time. He loved movies. Sweet fucking dude, man. I've known him for years and stuff. One day, he fucking called me. He'd been in my house many times. He called me out of the blue and he goes, hey, man, we've got this 103-inch fucking television that we're going to throw out, man. And I remember you've got big, wide walls and huge ceilings in your house. And I was like, what a weird fucking way to start a conversation. I said, what do all these things have to do with each other, man? And is that all our friendship was? To use square fucking footage? Like, and he goes, no, the reason I bring it together is this TV we're going to fucking throw out is 103 inches, and it won't fit many places, but it'll definitely fit in your house. So if you want it, we're just going to give it to you for free. Do you want it? And I was like, fuck yeah, give me all your garbage. Yes! Fuck yes. I was like, what's wrong with it, man? Was it assembled on an ancient Indian burial ground? Is it cursed? Like, and he goes, no, they used it for the Olympics. It was for coverage for the Olympics, so it's not meant for home use. It's basically a big graphics TV where they point to, like, this is what happened and shit like that. Problem is, it has no speakers, so you'd have to buy speakers. I was like, I'll buy the fucking speakers, man. For a free 103-inch television? Fuck the speakers. I'll stand next to it and translate for whoever's watching. I was like, fuck yes, man. So he goes, okay, man, make sure you're going to be home tomorrow. We can have it delivered. He's going, you got to clear your street. And I said, why? And he goes, it comes on an 18-wheeler. I said, really? And he goes, yeah, it takes 10 people to deliver it. And I said, why? And he goes, the base alone weighs 2,000 pounds. So I was like, I don't believe this. And they showed up the next day with a giant fucking truck, pulled this thing out the back of it. It looked like the monolith from 2001, A Space Odyssey. 10 fucking people carrying it, man. They're like, where do you want it? And I was like, second floor, please. felt bad, but I tipped insanely well. So brought him up to my bedroom. They're like, "Where's it go?" I said, "Put it right at the foot of our bed, please." And my wife was like, "Are you fucking high?" I was like, "Yes, but that has nothing to do with this. This just makes sense." I was like, "This is where the TV was. Look at this big wide wall. We'll put the fucking TV right there." She goes, "Kevin, there's no room between the bed and the television." I was like, "Yes, there is. Look."
Pretty good, Nate. Good pick. I've never heard that before, which is cool. Any, I,
So you get. So when I do a clip first, you reply first. If it's your clip, then I'll reply. You have the mic.
yeah, I can literally count the times he made me laugh in a 3-minute bit was 3. One of them really hard. The biggest laugh I got when he said his wife was next, in the bedroom, and she asked if he was high, and he says, "Well, yeah, but." So, and it sure seems like it's a real story. Would be my best guess, and
Oh
he,
yeah, it's 100% real.
yeah.
100% real. Yeah. Okay, continue with your breakdown.
Yeah, it's funny when you listen to comedy. Like I for sure laughed 3 times because at first it took about a minute before he got a laugh out of me. And now I can't. It goes so fast that I can't even remember what the other 2 things were. But yeah, decent bit. You got a big TV. Obviously, you're gonna say yeah if it's a 103-inch TV. He gives an interesting introduction, which was about. Because at first I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to follow this guy. He was explaining about how you wouldn't pay like $60,000 or something for a TV. So if you dissect the comedy of it, like he felt, because he's kind of doing storytelling, so he felt the need to give that intro. When I bet he could have just skipped right to, "Hey, a friend of mine said I could have a 100-inch TV," and I said, "Fuck yeah!" And so I'm not, yeah. Who am I to judge? It was a good bit, Nate. Good pick. And I think I've heard of him before, but I don't know a lot about Kevin Smith.
Oh my gosh, this is why I picked it, okay? Now, I can get you started on a Hollywood rabbit hole. Now, so Kevin Smith, he made the iconic, like, Mallrats and Jay Silent Bob.
Wow, yeah. Now I got him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, okay? He did that shit. He's fucking Bob. He doesn't speak in his movie. But here's the craziest, coolest thing. When you think about people that do comedy or the fucking strings, he's a fucking puppet master. That's why you don't know much about Kevin Smith, but here's how fucking Kevin Smith. I'm gonna show you this current. This is fucking current. This is how deep that motherfucker is in the know. So you're gonna love this part, okay?
Okay.
Harvey Weinstein is and was a god of Hollywood. So not just all the sexual shit. Robin Williams makes a fucking deal. Oh, I forgot what movie it was. Maybe this is Doubtfire. Don't quote me on the movie, but it was one of these ones. Okay, and I want you to know 2 things. Very recently, more actors are signing in their contracts is they want high risk, high reward. So they want percentages of the successful ticket sales of the movie versus getting $20 million. But they may get $100,000 or $250,000 to the movie, and then they have to play with the percentages. So in the fucking movies, like, gross $1 billion, that's what they fucking do now. They fucking get $500 million. That's when the actors get mad cash out. That just happened more very recently, the last 5 years, especially with the Marvel movies. And you'll know certain characters, certain actors that like to do that. Robin Williams.
You still there, Nate? Mr. Nate?
Into the theaters, like crazy well. Okay, you gotta maybe look it up, see what movie we're talking about.
Okay.
And this is Kevin Smith fully reported. He said he knows about it because he's on the executive board for Harvey Weinstein. Because not only like he fucking directs and stuff, like he fucking is in the fucking Wizard of Oz curtain room. boss, despite he's a fucking boss, he's so fucking humble. He doesn't do anything to get him shit in trouble. He doesn't fuck with people. He's a nice fucking guy, Kevin Smith. Straight up. Very impressive. So he said this movie is making money hand over fist every weekend. And Harvey Weinstein pulled the fucking movie just to fuck Robin Williams percentages. He knew that the next week, he's like, why would you fucking do that? He's like, you're still making money. Yeah, who cares if Robin Williams makes a shit ton of money? So Harvey Weinstein, because he's a fucking prick, pulls the movie and then goes to DVD, right?
Yeah.
And when it goes to DVD, Robin Williams' percentage of the DVD sales plummet. He doesn't have a big percentage of that in his contract.
I see.
And so, yeah, Kevin Smith was like, motherfucker, he saw this. He had no power, obviously, because Harvey Weinstein at that time, oh God. But he said that's how much of a prick Harvey Weinstein was. And to someone like Robin Williams, because again, Kevin Smith works with amazing talent, and he doesn't just fucking like fuck with the talent, he's actually genuinely friends.
Yeah.
Like they have a friendship circle. So why I also picked that one is Kevin Smith. I kind of knew that. I kind of knew he directed and he did all these amazing movies that are cult classics. Okay, they're fucking cult classics, and I'm not part of that cult. Like Jay Silent Bob, like that guy, skinny dude, very interesting guy. His name's Jeremy something, but he died. He has an interesting story. He's pretty. He's definitely talented. But here's the crazier thing. I did not know Kevin Smith did stand up. So that's why I brought it up, because in his pool of talent, he kind of dabbles in stand-up, and he mainly does XYZ, you know what I mean? He mainly directs, he mainly produces, mainly fucking makes big business decisions for certain people. He does the underground granola, trying to do artistic shit for other people that are just up-and-comers. So that's why I picked it. Because I don't think he's a headliner, go see Kevin Smith, but he fucking done it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
He fucking done stand-up amongst his entire armada of talent.
Yeah, great pick, Nate. Great pick.
Yeah, and like I said, you can definitely go deeper down the rabbit hole on Kevin Smith. There's a lot there.
All right, so the rundown so far. Our first comedian was Jerry Seinfeld. Our second comedian was Kevin Smith, and now I can kind of like do a versus. We had milk versus TVs, and like they're two. That's the interesting thing about what we're just stringing together here, with no rhyme or reason. But everybody drinks milk, and everybody loves TV. So just simple things, and like okay, turn them into genius bits. Fantastic start we got going here, Nate. This is great.
This is great, Joe. Bring out the third.
Now, yeah. I have a lot of favorite comedians, but of course I'm starting out with probably two of my favorites. My second one here, my pick, is Mitch Hedberg. Now, unfortunately, Mitch Hedberg died in his 30s, so I always view him as like a Jimi Hendrix of comedy. Like, died too young, and like he's one of those people in life that you're like, man, if that guy would have lived, more, like sky was the limit for that guy. And his comedy, fortunately, is recorded, and we can still enjoy it. And I kind of compare him joke-wise to a Rodney Dangerfield, because the guy just, like Seinfeld, the first two we play here tonight, Nate, kind of have had a little bit of story. Now this is a different style of comedy where it's just one joke after another. Here we go. Mitch Hedberg, and I got something that I just learned today. I knew he did David Letterman before, but when I went on the internet today, he did David Letterman at least 5 times or more. Like, that's pretty stunning. So if you think back, pretend Mitch Hedberg was your friend, and he's telling you, yeah, I'm doing David Letterman again, you'd be like, holy shit, Mitch, you're awesome. So, with nothing else to say, here we go. Let's get some Mitch Hedberg.
I want to say one thing, Joe.
You go ahead.
What I like about Mitch Hedberg, he is so quippy that there is some shit I do not understand. So then I put more energy into understanding it, and then I'm like, holy shit, that fucking guy's genius. I just want to say that about Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, they're like,
Fly off your forehead.
yeah, they're like mini, yeah, they're like mini puzzles. And as you're listening to them, most of them you get, but you're totally right. You're like, and then you gotta, if you want, you gotta focus in on that joke.
You gotta understand.
Uh
Don't
huh.
bullshit yourself. And then you maybe do some homework, and then you're like, oh man, the guy's a genius. But he still got the upper hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like shit that I don't understand.
All right, here we
That's
go.
what I want to say.
Here we go.
If it was 31 seconds, the actors would have said, "What the hell am I supposed to do now? The water's only up to here. What should I do? Throw the ball back to Jimmy? Or put some goggles on and look at his feet?" I saw I saw a lady with a flower. She was plucking out the petals. She was saying, "He loves me. He loves me not." Thank God the flower can't talk. What would it say? Ouch, that hurts. Ouch, that hurts as well. Please, leave me alone. I'm no longer pretty. And he loves you not. I could have told you I had an even number of petals. I used to have a paper route when I was younger. I was a paper boy. I was supposed to go to 2,000 houses or 2 dumpsters. I love doing this show. There's so much love here. All right, now listen. Oh, yeah. I play the South. You know, down in the South, they say y'all. You know, they take out the O and the U. So when I'm in the South, I try to talk like that so they understand me. Hello, can I have a bowl of chicken noodle? Come on. I'm in the South. You understand. I mean, I'm in the South, and I want some spud. My wife, Lynn, is from Canada. If you can trick someone into thinking they're in Canada, you can get more money for a magazine. I was at a convenience store reading a magazine. The clerk said, "This is not a library." I said, "All right, I will talk louder then." You know you have a medication that makes you drowsy, they print a warning label. Do not operate heavy machinery while under the influence of this medication. The way I feel, do not operate heavy machinery ever. Because it's heavy. Just put it down, back up. Pick up some light machinery, like a stapler. Put the forklift away. I'd like to see a forklift lift a crate of forks. It'd be so damn literal.
All right, Mitch Hedberg, everybody. Go, Nate. Go.
Extremely unique. Extremely unique. And as I mentioned before, the shit sometimes he says, like, you don't understand. And the third thing would be that he would have done big and better things. And so, you know, there's going to be a group of these guys that, with all their flaws, they were carrying that dark cloud. And, you know, with all this talent, I want to give us an understanding, not a criticism, just an understanding of that dark cloud. Because, like, it is sad that he was that talented and that he didn't make it. Also, Mitch Hedberg, he got a serious cult following, so I think that's cool that he's not mainstream likable. But if you do like him, it shows some very badass artistic shit.
Yeah. Okay. So in that segment, he probably rambled 4 or 5 jokes right there. The 2 that were my favorite were I like the library thing where he said something like, I mean, he says them so fast, but he's like, "Oh, I'm not in the library. Well, then I will talk louder." It's just so fast and so great. And then the main reason I picked it was for I used to have a paper route. I could either go to 2,000 homes or 2 dumpsters, and now I can make a personal connection where I could be, accused of plagiarism, but I did have my own thought, like I told you this week, Nate, when I started doing stand up, I realized, like you and I are talking about this week, about how powerful the English language is. And with comedy, I was like, what are you doing? Your only instrument is your microphone and your speaker. And I thought back to when I had a paper out, and I had a unique situation, though. My paper out right next door to me was a little park, like a playground and a small baseball field, but it was right in the center of all the houses that I delivered newspapers to. So fast forward, to I'm like 30 years old, and I'm thinking, man, like, it's so stupid, like, because it is kind of like Mitch said, like, it's true. When you do a paper out, sometimes you don't go to every house because whatever, and and then you think back and you're like, why not just have all the people, like, they don't have to go far, they just have to go, 1 block. They get a little exercise, they get a house, rather than this kid go to every single house. It's just like, yeah, it is kind of messed up. Paper routes. So.
I like your one about the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Get on the CA, you're like, come get your newspaper.
Yeah. Also, I can note when I was doing stand up more frequently, like actual in front of small crowds, I did feel that I had the vibe of Mitch Hedberg, because he has like a hippie vibe, like throughout all of his stuff. And I kind of feel that if you listen to me speak, it's kind of like me trying to observe myself, but I think I kind of give off that kind of vibe, which, makes me likable to other people. Like, people are like, say like, oh, Joe's a cool guy, and it's just something about the vibe of the way he talks, kind of a hippie vibe. And saying the word hippie, I'm 99% sure he starred in one episode of That 70s Show, which is a huge hippie show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So.
I want to say, weird is rewarded, Joe. Weird is rewarded.
Yeah.
It's a stand-up comedy. So what I've actually been noticing,
Mm-hmm.
as people get higher and more successful, right,
Mm-hmm.
they start definitely being like each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to look at some of the framework and how very successful comedians give away their material, and then you have to see like at the middle stages of how people deliver the material. And I want to share in my heart, I'm actually going to be okay if I happen to be a weird comedian, and I don't want to change my weirdness to cater into that funnel for more success. And I think Mitch Hedberg would have done that. I think he would have been more weird and more crazy, more unique, and there he would have been like more funny, so uniquely funny. And it's just like music; it's an art form. So the diversity of extreme differences in the comic delivery and the stand-up, it's good. And so I can see that certain people that are no-namers, but like they get coached or something, and they fucking ask certain people, and they say, oh yeah, if you did it like this, it would be much better. Fuck no, man. So I'm really curious. So the thing cool about what we're doing too, Joe, is I want to be peer supporting friends. Like, I don't want to be ever like, hey, you should do like this and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to listen to any of those people. Okay? And I really don't. Not until I fucking go up there 100 times. And I want to self-evolve. I want to self-evolve. Like, oh, I evolve like this. Not because you fucking told me. And again, that's why Mitch Hedberg is a fucking badass motherfucker. Because, again, check this out. Post-mortem. Respect to Mitch. Post. Is there any other motherfucking comedian out there that's gone Mitch Hedberg's way?
Any other comedian out there that did what Mitch Hedberg's way?
That delivers like Mitch fucking kind of has comedy like Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, not
Like
it's
Mitch Hedberg.
right. It's pretty rare. Yeah,
One person.
yeah.
Because it was fucking him, and it was untailored.
What I got to say is of that style, Rodney Dangerfield is kind of the godfather.
Okay.
Yeah, because their fast jokes are kind of the same. So that's it. Like there's only one other person with that kind of style that's bigger known than Mitch Hedberg, and it's Rodney Dangerfield. But Rodney Dangerfield has an advantage. Rodney Dangerfield lived a full life. Mitch Hedberg lived about half the years of Rodney Dangerfield. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. Life gives you the best material, man.
Mm-hmm.
Can't disagree with you about that.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I have to veer off of Mitch in speaking just to say that there's an interesting thing about Rodney Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield quit at about Mitch Hedberg's age and started back up again around 40s or 50s. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield had actually worked like a regular salesman job, in his midlife age, and then came back to it. So, but while he was away from comedy, Rodney Dangerfield, he was writing like crazy. So then when he did come back, he had tons of material to utilize. So, all right, keep trucking here. Nate's next one is... It's actually two people, Sam Morrell and Joe Maki, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The cool thing about this, Nate, let me make my point, then you make your point. My point is I'm looking at the Comedy Cellar, and I was really there in real life, which is awesome.
Where's the Comedy Cellar?
New York.
All right, that's badass.
What's your point?
Okay.